JJ, right now it's 31.
We are 3 hours, 5 minutes into this program, and we've got Greg from Iowa City Tech coming out 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
If you listened to the show yesterday, you heard a lot of racket coming from the laptop, and we called Greg, and we said, you got to get out of here. Cause
it's going to explode.
It's going to blow. And we haven't heard one peep from it.
Nothing. And I went in on YouTube and some other sites to get some audio, and that's usually what kicks it off.
Yeah.
Is if I start downloading or recording something, and nothing.
Well, we got the fan. You can put the fan in.
Yes.
It's got to be the fan. So.
But he'll look at it and go, it'll start making noise any minute now.
Yeah.
But,
hey, we got David Fine here from the Heartlanders.
Yes. Good morning, David.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good to see you.
We're getting some pretty good pictures in front of our boards there from some action, a couple scuffles, and
I was just telling Jim that there's a new
sheriff in town.
There's a new sheriff in town that's kind of helping to assist that.
They picked up an enforcer, so to speak.
We picked him up about a week ago. He led the league in the ECHL in penalty minutes last year. He got into a fight in his first few shifts on last Wednesday. I told Jim that he kind of skated by the wheel. We were playing Wheeling last week, and we have Wichita at home this week. He skated by the Wichita bench, and he kind of went, "Hey boys," or Wheeling bench, and he said, "Hey boys, it's open season tonight. Whoever wants me." He fought on Wednesday, and then on Saturday he maybe called a couple players on Wheeling chicken and did which I've never seen before. A guy flap their arms at another professional athlete, which he told us we had our.
I think Tom Brady did that all the time.
Yeah. At least in hockey. He was on our the show we do at Copperbore up in North Liberty last night. And he said that he just thought of it on the fly. He had never heard of anyone doing it. He'd never seen another hockey player do it. But it was a fun week. The team got 3 of a possible 6 points. So they won on the Wednesday game and got to overtime on Friday. And then this week, here we are again with a lot still going on. There's a month left in the season. It's still mathematically possible for the team to get into the playoffs with a strong final 12 games of the season. And excited for a week against the Wichita Thunder.
And now is a perfect time because we know, where the games are going to be. Basketball is playing. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of nights when you're on the ice and they're not on the court.
Yeah, we lucked out this week. Don't make any bones about it because
and it's perfect because high school is kind of between seasons right now.
Yeah,
baseball and softball hasn't started yet. Basketball just ended. So there's a nice little break for those athletes that normally couldn't go to a game because they're either playing or practicing or something. So.
Yeah, perfect over the next month for sure. And when I said we lucked out, relating to the Iowa women's basketball team playing Saturday afternoon because we thought, like it has been the past few years, it's probably going to be a Friday night, Sunday afternoon, and that's exactly when we play this week. So we play Friday at 6:35 and then Saturday at 6:05. Perfect. Yeah, on your way back from Carver, just swing over, and then on Sunday at 2:05. So, a couple big promotions this week. We're honoring our frontline workers on Saturday is kind of the big promotion on Saturday for Heartland Heroes Night. I'm going kind of in backward mode here. Friday's our 100th home game in team history, so we have some special things planned for that. And then Sunday is Faith and Family Day and a post-game skate. So if you want to come on the ice and skate with the players for about 30, 45 minutes after the game.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, no, Steve will be in on that. It always draws a lot of families, and it's a great sight to see.
If you got any skates that'll fit my rear, yeah.
Same for me.
I was a mediocre skater, but I was a really awful stopper. I could skate okay, but stopping was problematic.
If it was outside, it's okay because you might just go into a snow pile.
Right.
But,
yeah.
On an ice rink, if you're going fast and then you can't slow down, there's these things called boards and glass that you run into, the plexiglass that holds you you in, so you're not going anywhere outside of the sheet of ice.
Yeah, so now I know you guys have no love lost between the Nailers. What kind of rivalry do you have with the Thunder?
Yeah, it's actually kind of developed a little bit more this season. Wichita, they play in this. You guys are going to laugh at this, but so they're about 7-8 hours from here, and we all know the great mountains of Kansas. And I say that because they're in a different division. We're in the Central Division, and they're in the Mountain Division. And I laugh because like 5 out of the 7 teams in the Mountain Division have no business ever seeing a mountain anywhere near there except.
How did they get in the mountain division?
Well, it just so happens that they're playing teams in Salt Lake City and Boise, Idaho. So, but there's also Kansas City and team in Texas and Tulsa, Oklahoma, and anyway, whatever. So the great mountains of Wichita, but there's always this like stereotype that the mountain division's like the rough division with all the fights. You kind of the rugged mountain division, and it kind of just fits into it. So they have a number of players that are inclined to play more physically. And so we have this new fellow, and Nico Blatchman, who became a fan favorite right away this weekend. And a lot of the players were saying that because of Nico, it kind of gives you that more confidence in yourself. And
yeah, we got somebody who's got our back.
Yes, and you're brought into the fight, and hey, we need to play this way.
Yeah, so if somebody throws a cheap shot at you, somebody's going to avenge you.
Yeah, and against Wheeling, there were a number of those last week. Against Wichita, it's been kind of tame, but there was one game earlier this year where there were 110 penalty minutes combined between the teams.
Seriously?
And about 80 of them happened with 1 second left in the third period. So it was like a normal game, and then all of a sudden it took about 15 minutes to sort out the final few seconds.
Like a NASCAR race when there's a 20-car pileup in the last lap.
Yes, it's kind of exactly what the equivalent would be. So it's been tame since that happened. That was all the way back in October, and normally, because they're so far away, when they come here, they're going to come here for 3 games. When we go there, we're going to go there for 2 or 3 games. But it's going to be an exciting last month of the season. I think the team has been playing well. Again, they're still kind of on the cusp of breaking through and trying to make a run to the finish line here, and hopefully with some luck and a strong finish can end up in the playoffs. But with the promotions going on, it's just going to be a fun all around atmosphere, and we had some great crowds last week, and I wouldn't expect anything less this week.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Now, you said, how many games do you have left this regular season?
12 total, but 9 are at home.
I was just going to say, you only have one, don't you have just one road trip left?
Yeah, a week from now we'll be in the great mountains of Kansas City, Missouri in the Mountain Division. The only time we're going on the road the rest of the year, which we've joked the past few months about some of the issues of minor league travel occasionally. I know we told the story a couple months ago about the great the bus that had a little bit of trouble back in Tulsa, Oklahoma a few months ago. So it's a fun thing to be on the team with the road. I feel very lucky that I get to travel with the team and be around the team and capture some of the moments of the team sort of behind the scenes and get to know the guys.
You stream everything, right?
Yeah, everything's streamed.
Yeah.
And so
how do they see that?
Yeah, it's on. So I've talked about it a little bit before too here, but if you have we know a lot of people have Flow Sports around here because of Flow Wrestling and Flow Basketball, and a lot of local high schools are streamed that way, and local colleges. So if you have a Flow Sports subscription, it's just Flow Hockey, which is included automatically in your subscription. So that's how you watch if you have Flow Sports, and then we do the audio online through our website. So if you just go and you hit the Listen Live button on our website, it pops right up. Yeah.
And so what? Just for people that haven't been to a game yet and know about the EHCL, what's the age range of your players right now?
Yeah, so they're professional athletes. They're normally between 22 to about 26, 27 years old.
So they're young guys.
They're young guys. And the thing, too, if you've ever been up to, like, the Rough Rock.
What do you think, Jim? They were going to be in their 50s?
No, because there are some players that like to hang on and continue their career in the minors after they're out of the NHL. And I wondered if maybe
there are a few like that. There are a few like that are above the age of 30. A few that have played their.
They're not exactly old men, but they're old for hockey.
Yes.
So my wife is using a walker. So the walker,
she's eligible for, according to Jim, she might be eligible to hop in and play a game.
Goalie.
So on the walker it says lightning, like,
Who's-
and there's like flames on the thing.
Nice.
Well, what are you supposed? It's a walker.
I think she should install a bell on it too.
But the age range is about 22 to 26, 27. Our oldest player is about to turn 30. And they're guys mainly that are coming out of college. So even now, we've had a few players join, a couple from Minnesota, so a little bit more locally. Last year, we signed a player still on the team from Cedar Falls, Iowa, right out of college, named Hunter Lelig. So these guys, a lot of them graduate college, and they're continuing their career, and they were some of the best players on their NCAA teams, and then they signed their first professional contracts, or like Jim said, they maybe played a few years in the levels above, like for the Iowa Wilds League and the AHL, or even a few have played a few games in the NHL here or there, or sometimes a few seasons, and they're doing it for the love. Those guys trying to just hang around and play a few more years, and I think that's one thing that doesn't get talked enough about in our league, because we're AA, same as minor league baseball, AA, but the love that you have to have, whether it's AA baseball or the Colonels in high A baseball or us in AA hockey, to be able to go through this grind on a day-to-day basis, and there's a lot of games and all the travel on buses.
It is, yeah, it's a grind. I mean, you got to really love what you're doing.
Yeah,
and we all hear about basketball players that play a year in college and then they're in the NBA. Once you're out of college hockey, are there college athletes that go right to the NHL?
Yeah, for sure there are. There'll be a few this year, probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm thinking back. There's a player who scores 50 goals a season for the New York Rangers named Chris Kreider, and he graduated from Boston College, and immediately the next night was in an NHL lineup.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that probably happens about 4 to 5 times a year, I'd say.
Okay.
But the vast majority of guys, the top 10 to 12 guys on each team, the top 2 or 3 might be eligible for that, and then the other 10 or so are signing in the ECHL or in the AHL, the level above us, AAA.
And they're trying to get there.
What's the typical career for somebody out of college that is in there? Do they go a couple years, 3 seasons before they decide, I'm going to stay with it, or maybe I'm not at the level that I need to be to play in the NHL?
Yeah, most guys out of college hockey, 3 to 4 years of college hockey, and then they'll graduate. And I'd say most of them that go into this league try to play 2 to 4 years.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much right. When I say 22 to 26, finish college, you're 22, 23 years old, and then you end up 26, 27. But there are players. I mean, we have Kevin McKernan on our team who he's our captain. He's in his 7th professional season. He's got 300 professional games, all in our league. He just had his wife just gave birth a few months ago to their firstborn here in Iowa City, and they live here now. So that's one of the great things about this league, as well as these guys that you wouldn't normally necessarily expect to become big members of the community. All of a sudden, they're with you for a few years. Kevin's been with us for 2.5 years, and they become big members of the community, and they end up starting to raise a family here, which is really neat.
That is. It's a great sport. If you've seen it on TV, this is one sport that TV doesn't do, even on your big screen, doesn't do justice to when you're there looking directly at it. And there is not a bad seat in the Extreme Arena, and you are right there in the action.
Yep, tickets start at $16, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention this Friday. We have
a little cheaper than Caitlin.
A little cheaper than Caitlin. And this Friday, for our Friday game, we have the $5 youth tickets back as well with the purchase of an adult ticket. So that's it. It's $16. But again, this week you can hop in, and group tickets are obviously a little bit cheaper as well if you want to bring your family out, bring a big family out.
Food. Don't eat before you go there. Oh, you got vendors all over the Extreme Arena.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. You got it.
Hey, thank you, David.
Thank you, guys.
Mighty 1630.
Iowa City's local radio station. Iowa City's 1630 KCJJ.
done.